to the Sega Lounge Summer Series 2021. We're on break over here at the lounge. We've got chairs everywhere, not much to drink, but it's summer and I didn't want to leave you guys without any kind of lounge content, so I've invited a few friends from all corners of the Sega community to record bite-sized episodes of our 2021 Summer Series dedicated to the best Sega summer games. Well, not just Sega per se, but games on Sega consoles are fine too. And when I say best, I mean their favorites. And when I say summer, well, that depends on your perspective. But the point is, all summer long you'll get weekly suggestions of games you can and should play, whether it's on your retro consoles or modern systems, or even with emulators. I hope you enjoy this. Remember to follow the Sega Lounge on your podcast app so you don't miss future episodes. And now, without further ado, here is this week's summer game.
Hello, Dan, the Mega Driver here from the Sega Guys podcast. You can catch every Monday at 6 PM on Radio Sega or wherever you get your podcast from. My good friend Casey reached out asking what I feel is a good summer game. So there's a lot of options. Sega's Blue Skies are, they're part of their image as a games company and what we remember them fondly for. But I'll start by saying this. Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up your day? Yes, for those unfamiliar with that incredible soundtrack by TJ Davis and Richard Jacks, my summer game of choice goes to Sonic's first home console racing game, Sonic R. Now, if you've been listening to the Sega Guys podcast, you will know that we love this game a great deal, and both James and I feel it is thoroughly misunderstood. Of course, it is an on-foot racer. Well, why would Sonic even need a car? He runs so fast. It's why as good as they are, the Sumo Digital racing games are, a bit odd in that respect. But because it's not a car racer, it controls a little differently to your average racing game. And as such, it seems to get a little bit of stick, but I just think it's very misunderstood. You see, Sonic R is just about running fast. Now, Amy drives a car and Dr. Eggman / Robotnik, he drives his hovercraft. But these are characters running, and as such, they're not going to have, normal brakes. So you use the shoulder buttons to, put one foot on the ground, put another foot on the ground, hold them both, put both feet in the ground, they skid. If you hold one, you turn, and once you get used to that, it's actually a brilliant game. It controls so differently, but it's so good once you get used to it. Once you understand it, how the controls and how the motion and how the physics will work, I think it's a classic. There's a vast amount of courses in there, loads of secrets, loads of collectibles. Keep you busy for absolutely ages. It kept me busy for months as a kid, and it looks stunning too. One of the best looking games on the Sega Saturn. And as I said already, the soundtrack is absolutely outstanding. If you love your cheesy pop 90s Eurobeat, this is the game for you. I do love the soundtrack to this, and it's worth going into Spotify and checking it out for that alone. Great game, yes, but what makes it a summer game? Well, of course, I've already mentioned blue skies. There's a lot of that in Sonic R. You've got the blue skies and the sand, the golden sand, and the palm tree laden paradise, which is the first track, which is Resort Island. That really gives off those summer vibes. You've also got other tracks too. You've got blue skies, that azure skies in Reactive Factory. You've got that beautiful sunset-tinged Regal Ruin, which is the third stage, stunning. Even the night-based Radical City, it's like the casino zone. That gives off a kind of Vegas vibe, it's nighttime, but it still feels like summer to me. It's odd. More than anything, though, the reason why this game evokes such summer memories from me is that I associate it with seeing it for the very first time in Sega Saturn magazine. That's the UK official magazine, by the way. It followed up on the reveal at E3, and I thought back then it looked stunning, and I was instantly in love with it. And it seemed to me that the game came out very quickly after the reveal. It's baffling to me that it actually, looking it up, it actually came out in November, which does seem really weird, because I distinctly remember playing it, picking it up from the shop with my paper round money that I've been saving since I'd seen it, running home, and the sun was out, And what you do when you buy a brand new game and the sun is out? Well, of course, you shut the curtains, don't you? So it doesn't interfere with the image on your television. So yeah, I remember it being sunny, even if it was November, but I remember seeing it in those summer issues. I think it was just after E3 1997 when we had that reveal. and the Sega Saturn magazine must have been June or July. It was the August issue, and then I think there was previews every month, and I just remember reading through the progress of it, just astounded by how good it looked. So back then, my friends and I, we just played it to death, and it even convinced a couple of my friends to pick up Sega Saturn. It's garnered such an undeservedly bad reputation over the years, but in my view, it really is worth checking out. You know, as I say, it convinced some of my friends to buy Sega Saturns in 1997 when, you know, the console was in its death throes. So it must be good. It got rave reviews from many outlets on release, so it really is totally worth playing. And of course, as I said, there's so much to do in there. Don't use a guide. Little secret, I can beat this game and do everything within an hour, but that's only because I know these courses and where the collectibles are like the back of my hand. Okay. It took me months to find that. And do you know what? Maybe that's another reason. Because I was probably playing this well into 1998. Whether it was just rebooting the game to, you know, starting everything again after I'd finally found everything, just to explore again. Whether I was playing it in split screen mode, whether I was just playing it just to get a kick out of it. I absolutely love this game, and it totally blows off those summer vibes. You can play it now on PC, though I'm not sure if there's any compatibility problems with there. It's also on PS2 and GameCube in the Sonic Gems collection, but really you want to play the Sega Saturn version. And the reason is those ports do actually let you change the weather. You know, they let actually 4 players play in split screen at once, but they let you change the weather so you can have rain and snow. But that kind of makes it unsummery, doesn't it? You know. It's not what we're here for. We're here for the sunny blue skies, Sonic experience. Can you feel the sunshine? That's what Sonic R is about for me, and that's why I feel it's such a fantastic summer title. So yeah, if you really do want to reach out for the sunshine, forget about the rain, just think about the good times, and they will come back again. If you excuse that little bit of terrible singing on my part, definitely check out Sonic R, and that's why I love that game, and Sonic R will always remind me of summer. So thanks again, KC, for inviting me to share my thoughts, and remember, you can catch the Sega Guys on Twitter at SEGAGUYS, you can find me at SwooperD, and you can find my Sega Guys co-host James at The Segaholic. See you guys soon.
The Sega Lounge, hosted by me, KC, and part of Radio Sega's network of live shows and podcasts. Theme song and incidental music by OSC. Find them at opussciencecollective.bandcamp.com. Got any suggestions? Drop me an email to podcast@thesegalounge.com. Follow us on Twitter @thesegalounge and like us at facebook.com/thesegalounge. You can find previous episodes of the show by going to thesegalounge.com and wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. A Mixed On Productions podcast.